Laver Arena to kickstart night 3
play.
Australian Open.
Love.
Well, the serve placement's going to be important for Marino today, along with that first serve percentage. Just keep it as high as possible. Boulter likes to be on the baseline for the second serve return.
Let's serve.
Really attacking early is Katie Boulter.
15-13.
It's so important when you've had such a long wait to make sure that you're stepping out onto the court slightly sweating already. That sort of lethargic energy that's been in your body all day. She was kind of keeping an eye on the scores. Great serve. To see when she'd even practice, it wasn't like a set time, middle of the afternoon. It was quite flexible, just to make sure that she wasn't going out too early.
Punishing from Katie Boulter. That's massive. 154km/h serve.
Because Marino is so tall, when she hits that backhand cross court, it almost comes down over the top of it, and it's very hard to pick up because it's much lower than you think off the bounce.
Error from Boulter. Marino does hold. It was a little shaky.
First game.
She's on the board. Boulter yet to drop a set against Marino. First meeting at 2023 Montreal, 6-3, 6-1. And since then, she has gone on to new levels, winning 2 titles. And you mentioned that WTA 500 event last year, where Alex de Minaur flew up from Acapulco
yeah.
to watch the final.
It was very keen of him, but along with that, the back-to-back titles in Nottingham at WTA 250 level. What's the win predictor saying?
It's fairly one-sided, Katie Boulter. But Marino, she'll have full belief.
Love 15.
And that is the Katie Boulter coaching camp. If we start bottom right, physio Rory Mee, and then coach Biljana Veselinovic to his right, our left in the white, and in the pink shirt, Mum Sue Boulter next to the head women's coach from the RTA, Ian Bates.
Has the resemblance there between Katie and Sue.
Yeah. And her brother as well. They're remarkably similar. Sue, a great tennis player herself.
Yes, she was.
15.
She's just spotted herself on the big screen. Just pretending to look away quickly.
That is uncanny. Marino with a small look. Marino was a great story at the US Open in 2022. Been a long time for her making a significant run at a slam. She actually didn't play a Grand Slam from the 2013 Australian Open to the 2021 AO. Took a break from mental and physical fatigue and just fell out of love with the game before deciding to come back and make another fist of her tennis career. Glorious. Such a pure ball striker.
40-30.
And that's something that she's been working on, adding a bit more height onto the forehand side, especially when she's going line with that, to then open up the court and cut the angle off on the next ball.
Boulter, born in Woodhouse Eaves, population of 1,600, not too far from Leicester. You've been to Woodhouse Eaves, Lauren?
I have, yeah. Yeah, Grandpa still lives up in Leicester.
Advantage, Boulter.
It's a seriously big ball, Rebecca Marino.
Deuce.
Backhand has already brought Boulter unstuck a couple of times. Already both of these games, service games, going to juice.
Advantage, Marino.
First breakpoint look of the match.
Not a huge amount of margin on that last forehand from Boulter.
Deuce.
And that is the side that can break down more than the backhand side. Yes, she might hit more winners off it, but it can fly too, especially when she's over pressing on the forehand down the line.
Advantage, Marino.
Another breakpoint opportunity. Marino 1-1 this year so far, winning one match in Auckland over Lulu Sun, Wimbledon semi-finalist of 2024.
Ooh.
Another double fault for Boulter. And the early break comes for the Canadian.
Against the low.
Yeah, just overdoing the second serve, wanting to go for a deep placement with it, but more important to get it in at this stage of the match, just while you're feeling the rhythm of these first few games.
Positive start for the Canadian. Fired up tonight. Loves being in Australia. There's a video published by the Australian Open social media team about her love for coffee and Australian coffee.
Aren't we all a fan of the Aussie coffee?
I'm very biased, but yes. Especially here in Melbourne.
15 all.
Marino's movement after the serve just exposed a little bit there. When it's deep coming onto her feet, that split step can sometimes not quite be sharp enough.
2 break point opportunities for Boulter.
15-14.
I don't think we need to worry about the average ground stroke speed.
Both of them hitting it fairly hard.
Rebecca Marino's average first serve speed for the moment is
30,
almost
14.
110 miles per hour. That's the average.
He's lightning quick. It's faster than some of the men that we've seen at this Australian Open.
I went for MPH. I feel like
Yep.
you probably would have appreciated kilometres.
It's all right. It's right next to it.
Okay.
It's something I still struggle with, the conversion.
Kilometres make no sense to me.
I'm the same way with the miles. And an immediate break back for Katie Boulter. She's on the board in this contest, and she's fired up about it as well. Marino leads 2-1 first set. For those watching locally, averaging 176 kilometres an hour. That's about 110 miles.
Yeah, Boulter not too far off at 169. Both of them trying to outdo each other on the speedometer.
And Boulter does have that power. It's why she has been fairly successful on the grass courts. Has won 2 of her 3 WTA titles on the surface.
Yeah, I think it's to do with the fact that when the first serve percentage is high, her first serve is a great setup shot for that forehand that she always looks for on the +1 shot. And you're just getting more free points on the grass. She's learned how to move better on that surface, as many of the Brits just get that extra practice time in the lead-up weeks.
Kia Arena, one of the new stadiums or the new arenas here at Melbourne Park, situated between John Cain to the bottom of your screen and Rod Laver up the top there. It is a beautiful little amphitheatre here, just adjacent to Grand Slam Oval. Still a large amount of people in the grounds at 8:55 on a Tuesday night. Boulter becoming that British #1.
15 love.
You've been there. How much pressure is on her when she goes out and steps out on court?
I actually don't think it's too bad these days, because of the depth that the British women's game has at the moment. For sure, going into the grass season, it feels a little bit different, but just the fact that, you know, Raducanu won today, Harriet Dart, and Jodie Burrage also had wins in the first round. And they've all been part of the same Billie Jean King Cup team for the last few years as well. So everyone's pushing each other along.
Saw Katie's post about Jodie Burrage saying things we love to see, and when she got through, and it's that camaraderie when you're travelling that certainly does help as well.
Yeah, especially for Jodie. If you've been following the British girls, you'd know she's struggled with a lot of injuries.
Crowd certainly appreciating that.
40 love.
Katie also making a final in October in Hong Kong, losing to Diana Schneider in the final there as the second seed. So she's in good form. Plus her United Cup exploits.
A ripper of the backhand to finish things off. Coach Billy will be very happy
2 games all.
with that one. They're always looking to cut off the angle to get inside the baseline in practice. They'll do baskets and baskets of short balls, making sure that the footwork up the court is as intense as it needs to be. And actually, when you ask Katie about it, she's really proud of that run in Asia, because it was that time of year where everyone's quite tired, everyone kind of wants to go home.
Yeah.
And in previous years, she's called it quits in the season quite early. And just hasn't been able to withstand the full season physically. So to actually finish the way that she did with a final and then head into the off season feeling like you've really accomplished something.
Two losses for Rebecca Marino here after she's got to the second round was to Francesca Schiavoni and Marketa Vondrousova. Both Grand Slam champions in their own right. It's a long time between drinks for her.
40-15.
Oh, she's done an unbelievable job to come back, though. Such a testament to just finding the joy in doing your job again, doing what you love.
Not to mention the fact that in 2019 she was unable to play Wimbledon with a serious foot injury, but then 2020 comes around and COVID hits, so that curtails your redevelopment again. So impressive she's been able to get back into the top 100.
Great serving again. Very difficult to read.
Certainly is, and Rebecca Marino keeps it on serve. She leads 3-2 opening set. Intriguing matchup so far between Canada's Rebecca Marino, the world number 98, and Katie Boulter, the world number 25. Almost at her career high ranking that she achieved in November of 23. Next to 2 titles in 2024, as well as a late final in Hong Kong. Rebecca Marino winning a WTA 125 event in Midland. Get her ranking close to the top 100.
Well, the double fault count only at 3, but more concerning for the Katie Boulter camp is that the first serve percentage right now is down at 41% and has only managed to win 3 out of 7 points off that first serve, which is very unusual for her.
Already seeing a pattern when she can get that ball deep to the back end of Marino. It is causing some issues. The trigger, and Boulter is fired up.
Well, she's had to learn that as a skill, the ability to hustle and try and extend the rallies for as long as you can. The squash shot comes out.
Kidding me. Didn't do enough with the drop shot, and then Marino hit it straight back to her.
Gets away with that one. That was more of a lob than a drop shot. And Marino here just didn't look at where her opponent was standing.
Wry smile, she knows. Holds once more. You mentioned the hustle and learning to embrace that. How much do you think being in a relationship with Alex de Minaur would help that?
Well, if that doesn't help you, I don't know what will, because that's his bread and butter. I think it's come from having a bit more trust in her body, though. Just the fact that she's been able to stay healthy, no lingering back issues, which was such a problem for many years. And then you can get stronger and actually believe that you can get there in the first place, but also push off fast enough to get back.
Love 15.
Double fault from the racket of Marino. It's her second. And yeah, Boulter in 2019 had a serious sort of spinal fracture, and that kept her out for 7 months.
Let's first serve. Love 30.
Really attacking the serve of Marino. She finds 3 break points.
Love 40.
Marino born in Toronto, but she's a proud Vancouver citizen. Lived there since she was 2. She apologises for the backhand landing off the frame. But inside, she'd be pretty happy because Katie Boulter secures the break in the first set to lead 4-3. If you define perfect summer's nights, that is right there. Beautiful evening here in Melbourne. 25 degrees, still plenty of tennis happening across most of the main courts here at Melbourne Park, and Katie Boulter, well, she's lighting up the night sky at the moment. 4-3 with a break.
Marino can still do some serious damage when she gets the ball in the strike zone.
It's the reputation as one of the friendliest players on tour, but such a steely look in her eyes when she steps onto court.
Let's first serve. Let's first serve.
We don't get back in the top 100 without a lot of determination. And even when you look at recent times for Marino, playing up until almost mid-November last year, won a 115K on the indoors in Midland to finish off her season.
Very impressive.
And most people have called it a day at that point, but she's been churning out the challenges.
At 34 years of age too, you've got to respect the hunger. Marino won 3 other ITF titles last year as well, earlier on in the year, and 3 of her 4 trophies came on the hard court, 1 on grass, and moved her ranking from 182 a year ago to 98 where it currently stands. Katie Boulter holds. She's 1 game away from this opening set.
Boulter leads 5 games.
Practicing her ball toss there.
Yeah, unless you've been practicing at night, it's sometimes quite difficult in the early stages of a match to get used to all the lights, to get used to not having the sun up above you. That's why so many of the players these days, especially the top ones, they're scheduling practices for 7 p.m, 8 p.m.
What was your preference?
Well, I'd like to get it done early in the day and then be done with it. But I was here, must have been on Saturday night, and Alex de Minaur actually had that slot from 7 to 9 p.m. out on Rod Laver, because he can almost guarantee, as the #1 Australian, that he's going to play a night match.
When you're in the top 10 as well, that's generally a fait accompli. I remember Leighton Hewitt. Like every year when Hewitt used to play, doesn't matter where he was ranked, he was getting Rod Laver Arena. Same with Ash Barty as well. Too strong for Marino.
30-15.
Just her third winner of this contest. 15 unforced errors, certainly not helping the cause.
It's a great pickup from Boulter. But even then, I think it's the movement from Marino that's exposed, because she doesn't get up to that +1 shot quick enough. And against the top players, the difference when you play a Grand Slam versus a challenger is the movement for me. Everyone can hit the ball big these days.
Marino holds, but Katie Boulter, she's going to come out and serve for the set. On the resumption of play, she leads 5-4. Still strong intensity from the Canadian, who trots out to the baseline where she'll return as Katie Boulter serves for the opening set. Boulter has reached the third round at Wimbledon twice and the US Open in 2023, where she lost to Peyton Stearns. At Wimbledon, she lost to Harmony Tan and Elena Rybakina.
15 love.
2 times that Boulter has reached the second round at Melbourne Park. She's been halted by last year's finalists, Aryna Sabalenka in 2019 and Jung Chim-won in 2024.
Pretty decent draw this time round, you've got to say, and that's the difference with being seeded. You're not playing another seed until the 3rd round.
Second round matchup between will be either between her if she wins. Second match on Rod Laver Arena tonight between Olivia Gadecki and Veronika Kudermetova.
And the seed in that section is Beatrice Haddad-Meyer, who's the 15th seed in the tournament, but isn't in phenomenal form at the moment. And it's kind of hard not to get ahead of yourself in a way. Probably best not to even look at the other results.
It is that cliche, isn't it? The one match at a time.
Yeah, well, it kind of happened at the US Open last year for Katie. The draw opened up and then she ended up losing a match which on paper she should have won.
To Peyton Stearns. Power brings up set point for the 28-year-old. Enjoying her career purple patch at the moment, but she wants to take it higher. One saved. Landed long. Boulter attacking at the net. Brings up set point number 2.
Advantage. Boulter.
High on the legs there, Boulter.
Juice.
Guilty sometimes of being too narrow with her footwork as she makes contact with the ball. That's a tall person problem, isn't it?
Katie got you covered for height?
I think we're the same height, you know. She might be a smidge taller.
Ballistic ball striking from Marino. And after saving 2 set points, she finds a break point of her own.
Marino.
And lethal hitting, especially when she's going for her backhand line.
Big first serve.
Yeah, needed the first serve there though, because the first serve percentage has crept up slightly, but it's still just over 50%.
Advantage, Boulter.
Third attempt at a set point. Will it be third time lucky? Or will Marino find something? Allowed come on. And Katie Boulter takes the opening set. 6-4 in 48 minutes.
Wasn't the cleanest set of tennis from Boulter, and Marino definitely tested her with her power from the back of the court. It's a bit of a relief to get through that one, having lost serve early on. And then kind of clawing her way back. You can just see from the reaction there, she's not quite happy with how things have gone. And the stats will definitely reflect that. We mentioned the first serve percentage. First serve points won crept up massively as the match went on. But she'll be really thinking about that unforced error count to bring that down in the second set from 16 and bring the winner count up to go along with it. Pretty solid set of tennis from Marino, kind of what you expect from her game style, and they've played each other before, so they know each other's games and strengths and weaknesses.
Boulter 5 from 5 in sets against Rebecca Marino, and have a look at some of the highlights from the opening exchange. Some of those backhands from Boulter really set things up for her, and it was the cleaner ball striking in the end. But the 22nd seed, and look at the emotion. She's fired up. She wants this opportunity.
Love 15.
Yeah, you definitely get the sense that Boulter's going to look to play a bit freer here with her returns, go for a bit more.
When you have a one-set lead,
15.
start to free things up a little bit.
Especially when she's been getting so many looks at second serves, though. Talking about Boulter's versus serve percentage, Marino's for the matches down at 39%.
(40-15).
So went for it. Unforced error occurs, and Marino is 1-18 when losing the first set at a Grand Slam. An ace will help the cause. And the only time she's ever registered a win when dropping the first set at a major was against Maria Jose Martinez Sanchez in Roland Garros in the opening round in 2011. So it was 14 years ago now. Although she didn't play slams for a very long time in between. Still, the fact that 2011 is 14 years ago is quite bizarre.
Don't remind us.
There were good years though. It's Laura Robson at the peak of her powers.
Of 15. On.
Oh, well done. Definitely bigger weapons off the ground when she goes for that down the line shot because of how flat it stays. And you see here, even her forehand grip is quite continental, almost closer to a serve grip that you would expect compared to, you know, a lot of other players who play with it quite far round and western.
That is a punishing shot.
Yeah.
15-14.
You mentioned her determination to come back after so many years. Well, that mentality is going to keep her in matches like these. Yes, the stats are against her, but she won't write herself off 2 break points. Intensity of the shot making too strong for Boulter. And Rebecca Marino, like the first set, breaks Boulter's opening service game.
With very controlled, aggressive hitting as well. Not trying to go for too much, just playing with power down the line and not even close to the lines. It's a game plan that she can very much keep up.
15 love.
If she starts serving like that,
Yeah, all of a sudden, if the first serve percentage comes up as well, then it's a whole different matchup.
Dirty low.
Something we certainly didn't see in the first set.
Well, look how low that is over the net. Oh, and again, net clearance is nowhere to be seen, but it's doing wonders.
40 low.
See how low this one goes over the tape. Bit higher than the last one. Second serve ace, if you don't mind. Rebecca Marino consolidates like she couldn't do in the first set. Leads 3 games to love after just 9 minutes in the second.
Time.
What an aerial shot. Melbourne Park illuminated in January. It's the best month of the year. Does not get much better. Tennis, sun, warmth. And Rebecca Marino certainly enjoying this little patch of it. 3 love up. And
Boulter again losing the first point of her own service game.
Fifteen all.
Weight of shot from Marino really troubling Boulter.
It's huge at the moment. It definitely feels like the speed of the ground strokes have stepped up a notch. need a bit of luck at the moment.
Came very good time, although she would have been a bit nervy as to where that was going to go, and went over and out of reach of the Canadian.
It just feels like there's too many Boulter shots going through that middle third of the court, though. And Marino, when she doesn't have to move, of course she can do damage with the points. It's when she's out of position on her outside leg, having to really stretch for it, that the errors start to flow.
That's something we haven't seen from Boulter all set. Finally gets onto one. She holds for 3-1.
3 games to 1.
So important for her to negotiate what was another tricky service game.
Yeah, and straight away that forehand cross court with a bit more width to it. What a difference it makes. Marino, though, has been serving huge.
Offering up a bit of variety as well.
15 love.
Forehand, backhand slice. Bit of anger there from Boulter, punching her strings.
Low.
He's enjoying himself. Marino, parents own a construction business in Vancouver called Marino Construction. She's constructing a very nice set of tennis.
Really the first unforced error that we've seen from her in a while.
That was 17 kilometres faster than her average second serve pace there at 161 kilometres an hour.
Can't say she didn't go for it.
No. Let's see if she slows it up here.
And there's just no need at this stage of the match with this scoreline for Boulter to go that deep in the court. As long as that's a backhand line, you know, somewhere in that middle third of depth, it doesn't have to be so good.
And another convincing hold for the Canadian, Rebecca Marino, 34 years old, looking to get through to the second round at Melbourne Park for the third time in her career. Leads 4-1 second set, having lost the first. It's been such a change. Momentum here. It came out of nowhere. Boulter looked in control in that opening set, but Marino, she's turned up the heat.
Definitely has in this second set. Already hit 7 winners. That's including the 3 aces, but just going for her shots a bit more. You come out in the second set with nothing to lose, and I think it's always harder once you've lost the first to serve first at the beginning of the second, when you're playing another big hitter, but no worries from Marino's side. Very focused today.
And in this set, more winners than unforced errors. First set, that was not the case. But beautiful night it is, Melbourne Kia Arena, the newest of the courts here. Built just a few years ago. And it's just another wonderful place for fans to come and watch the best players in the world go about their business. Katie Boulter serving at 1-4.
Let's.
First time this set, Boulter wins the first point on her own serve.
Well, you've got to be telling yourself, I can hold here, I can break in the next game. I've broken her before.
Let's.
Starting to get a little bit more penetration on her ground strokes as well, Boulter. Just looking a bit timid at times earlier on in the set.
A bit more height over the net with that one.
40 low.
I mean, I do think conditions at night on these courts is so different. It doesn't feel like it's coming off your racket as quick as it is during the daytime when the sun's on the court, when it's taking up all that heat. And you can kind of overcompensate as well. We saw it a little bit with Garcia against Osaka last night on Rod Laver. Two huge hitters.
Time the net cord doesn't do her any favours.
40-15.
And both of these two wouldn't really be used to playing too much at night. A lot of the smaller tournaments just played during the day.
It obviously varies a lot, but I think it's unusual to have such a big difference day to night on the same court with the same balls. She's come through that, but yeah, still some annoyance because it's not the sort of point that she would want to be playing. Boulter, again, going through that middle third of the court again and again to Marino, almost waiting for the error.
Marino was absolutely clubbing the ball. What doesn't help her is that the new balls are coming out.
almost think the new balls might help her though.
Love 15.
Still so fired up, isn't she? It's just one break of serve if she can get it back.
Can't do anything about that though. Perfectly placed.
15 all.
Marino, 8 out of 8 in first serve points this set, going at 100%. Unbelievably good. The way that she hit that sort of backwards forehand, I don't even know what to call this.
14,
I think backwards
15.
forehand is quite right there.
Right at Boulter's feet. And then the winner to boot. It's a way to turn defense into attack.
Forty 30.
Here it comes. Frustration for Boulter, elation for Marino, who holds for 5-2 in the second.
Leads 5 games to 2.
Katie Boulter having to serve to stay in this second set. Rebecca Marino has just outgunned her. And Laura Robson, the Canadian, would be jubilant with how she's played.
She's played an almost perfect second set. Cut down on the unforced errors, brought the first serve percentage up. So interesting to see if she can sustain this level, because she's playing well above her ranking at the moment.
Love 15.
When an opponent's hitting the ball like this, it's incredibly hard to stop the momentum. Marino coming at Boulter like a freight train.
I just got to check. Sorry, what was that? We can continue.
Button
Continue, it's okay.
hit by mistake.
Ladies and gentlemen, technical malfunction, the automated line calling.
Technical malfunction sounds better, but someone accidentally hit the button.
And Boulter hits the button on the first serve. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Oh, I definitely have. I think it was Indian Wells as well. The whole ELC system went down. And then there was a mad rush to see if they could actually find line judges.
Surely tournament director Tommy Haas would have stepped out there to make some calls.
I don't think he's qualified. Very niche skill.
It is. And they do an incredible job at the tournaments they still remain at. Monstrous from Marino.
30 all.
2 points away from the set.
She needs to get that first serve sliding away from Marino.
40-30.
Again, too much trying to trap her into the body. And unless you place that serve absolutely spot on, well, Marino has torn it to pieces, basically.
Does manage to get that hold. She's going to ask the question of her Canadian opponent.
Leads 5-3.
Can Rebecca Marino serve it out and force a decider on Cain Arena?
Yeah, she's won 9 out of 9 first serve points in this set.
%64 on the second.
$15 love.
The net chords have really favoured Katie Boulter tonight.
Well, there's been a lot of them anyway because of how low the net clearance is from Marino.
$30-15.
2 points away from forcing a decider once more.
40-15.
Her backhand sees 2 set points for Rebecca Marino. She's never taken a set off Boulter before. It's just raw power. And Rebecca Marino takes the second set off Katie Boulter, and we're going 3. After 34 minutes, we're level. Crowd, you can tell who they're supporting tonight. Most likely have adopted her. It's as untimely as it gets.
Well, the double fault count was mostly in the first set for Boulter. There was 3 in set 1. That's her 4th.
She's crushing that ball.
15,
where there
30.
might be not much fluff left on those Dunlops.
Marino teeing off in the best way possible. Boulter managing to dig that one out.
30 all.
She knew how important it was to come out of that point alive. Brilliant defense from Katie Boulter. 30 all now. How can she respond to this tension? Timely first serve.
All too many of those today. Unforced error count for the match up to 28. Gets away with it, but I think on this deuce side, Boulter's better off going for that tee serve You see the wingspan that Marino's got on her forehand side, and the fact that she is quite close to the baseline. She barely has to take half a step before she's making contact with that one.
Let's serve.
It is too good. To find the angle here, to paint the line with the off forehand, so impressive.
And it's a shot you just don't expect as well. You feel like you've played something smart through the middle, and then you get that off the back of it.
She went up the tee that time. Marino equal to it. Break point opportunity.
Oh, very nervy times for both.
It's such a pivotal match for both of their seasons, really. First Grand Slam of the year. You want to try and set the season up as positively as possible.
Advantage. Boulter.
She finds the first serve again. After 11 minutes, the hold comes. Boulter survives a mighty scare.
First game.
And leads
final
1-love
set.
in the third.
What a stressful game to begin this third set. Coach Billy was up on her feet, trying to give as much advice as possible as Boulter was off to grab the towel. I feel like he's just watched her hold serve there.
How nervous would he be? I think he does
it's-
get to be a nervous watcher.
It's always so much worse on the sidelines, though. And there's been times, I think of Wimbledon last year, where he finished a match, then rushed over to the stadium that she was playing on. I didn't think he even did a warm down.
No. Do you remember the footage back when they were an item, Berrettini and Tomljanovic? When Berrettini was watching, he was a wreck. She tried everything. Again, the power.
15 love.
She's just got to find a way to neutralise. And the slice forehand is not going to be the way. Marino has loved this one barely has to get around the ball. She's crunched that.
It's a monster.
183.
1 kilometre shy of her fastest of the match. 20 millimetres, we're told.
And another. It's such a steady service motion, and the ball toss tonight has been spot on, so you really can't get a read on where she's going to go with it.
Left, the serve.
Keeps the pressure back onto Katie Boulter with a quick hold and some excellent serving.
Rebecca Marino's camp there.
Bearing in mind, the only time Marino has ever emerged victorious from a set down at a slam was at Roland Garros 2011. Only her 3rd appearance in the main draw of a slam. This has been an inspired fight back. Can she close it out? Still on serve, however.
Love 15.
For Marino, it's simple. Just keep playing the exact same way and sustain the level for as long as possible.
What does Boulter have to do to try and figure her way back into this match, or try and negate the power of Marino?
Yeah, I think the plan has always been to get it away from her, to try and find some width. And I'm still seeing so much through the middle. And it's very difficult to redirect if someone is throwing so much power at you. I can understand that for sure.
13-15.
That was down the middle, but out of reach.
And so another way to try and redirect is to go for some angle, to, you know, throw in a slightly higher ball and then go faster. Just to get out of the rhythm, or get Marino out of this rhythm of pace all the time.
14-15.
Or just do that.
Yeah, that works too.
2 aces in a row. Found the first serve. And Katie Boulter holds once more to lead 2-1, final set.
Boulter leads 2-1. Time.
Marino bounding out of the chair. Fan absolutely enjoying the night. Seen some quality tennis all day. Started with Matteo Berrettini up against Cam Norrie in this very court. Lorenzo Musetti getting through in 4 as well over Matteo Arnaldi. Now this going the distance. Oh, it's exquisite volleying. Boulter actually made her do a lot with the volley because of
the height.
Yeah.
She's so tall, and look at how she's able to close down the net, keep the wrist strong there.
Low. 40 low.
She's running rampant on her service games. That's a pass and a half. Just to give her some confidence, she might not break.
40-15.
4th backhand winner. You are kidding.
No way.
I don't think Marino can even believe it. Just slapped at it. Looked like it was going long.
2 games all.
This is a shot and a half here. That is a swipe.
Something you'd see on the squash court.
She loved it.
She knows she's hitting with heat right now.
It's a really tough return to deal with.
15.
And you wonder if Boulter could manage to get that forehand back cross court rather than trying to go line. Nervy times for the player boxers, both players. You're going to try and keep the poker face as well.
Went for it, it was close.
15-30.
Was it the right shot choice?
Well, when someone's throwing this much power at you, you can't help but panic sometimes. You don't want to give them the same pace. And so poor shot selection is expected.
Here it comes. And now
15-14.
crucial moment for both. 2 break points for Rebecca Marino. On the line.
Yeah, needed that.
Can she do it again?
It's a little lucky with the net cord though, my goodness.
But the way she negated that, it was hit so hard at her body. Have a look at this. Perfect touch.
Let's for serve.
That is brilliant on every level from Katie Boulter. And she knew it as well.
That's a shot out of Marino's playbook.
Maybe it's a case of if you can't beat them, join them. Gutsy hold. And Katie Boulter keeps her nose in front in this final set. Leads 3 games to 2.
Boulter leads 3 games to 2.
Did all she could. Now, is it a case of Marino possibly, I know a lot of players will think about the past. They know they've had the chances and couldn't quite take them. How important is that?
No, I think Marino's been incredibly composed throughout this whole match. I don't imagine she'll be thinking about the break points or what could have been, because if you break down exactly what happened, she didn't do anything wrong.
It was all Boulter.
Yeah, so you've got to say, okay, let's get back to work and try again out of the changeover. It's a fan favourite song playing.
It is. And I think it's any sport you go to, from tennis to even lawn bowls.
And in every country as well.
Yeah.
It's a universal joy.
It is. Seen it at a packed MCG of 100,000 people to Moama up on the Victoria-New South Wales border at a Bowls Premier League. It is a versatile song. And right here at Kia Arena, it's going off.
15 love.
So is Rebecca Marino. 7th ace. Points are getting shorter and shorter.
30 love.
Boulter just not getting a look at her serve at all. Be long until he made his way over to Kia Arena. Quick cool down. I know he's fast, but that's
I think that's a postponement of his press conference as well. It's meant to be within an hour.
Yeah.
Brilliant serving from Marino.
New balls, please.
New balls to come. That is going to help Katie Boulter. And from what was quite a lengthy hole for Boulter last time, well, it's the complete opposite for Marino. 1:13. And there is Alex de Minaur next to his future mother-in-law.
It just puts the pressure on Boulter again on her own service game. Still struggling with her first serve percentage for the match. Still at 52% first serves in. So every time she stepped up to the line in this third set, there's been some tension.
Just the second time this set she's won the first point on her own serve. Just as they were changing ends previously, Katie's coach, Billy, I mean, she almost flew out of her chair. She was trying to throw out so much advice, but the main one for me looked like you need to stay low. You need to keep loading the legs. So it's getting her out of trouble, but it's when the rally's starting that actually Marino looks the more at ease, doesn't she? Again, that first serve. Really gotten her out of a jam a few times. 40-15. On the line, a steely look to her box, and Boulter holds, leads 4-3, final set.
Boulter leads 4 games to 3.
Hold desperately needed for Katie Boulter. Sits down. Both players fairly quiet. Boulter's let out a few come-ons. A lot to think about. Second round of the Australian Open up for grabs. crowd favourite coming on, Laura. Can't see this being done at Wimbledon.
No, I can't see that either.
Something very different. US Open's another level altogether.
Maybe on the right. Sandy Proctor, president of the LTA.
Great to see them coming to support. Katie does her training out there. Rebecca Marino bouncing up and down, serving at 3-4.
Left for serve. Fifteen love.
It's a bit of a gift there
13 love.
when you get the chance at a second serve return. It just needs to be in play. It's so easy to say from up here. Much harder to do at 4-3 in the third.
Question now, whether serving from behind, does Marino get tight? Does she think about the situation?
No, I think it's easier to serve.
14.
If nerves are the issue, I should say. Definitely more difficult with the scoreline. You always feel that more pressure. You know you've got to come up with something, but it's not in a nerve-wracking way.
More adrenaline.
Another quick hold.
Got just 3 points on serving this set.
4 games all.
How far will this match go? Are we destined for a tie-break? Can one of them find something special beforehand? 4 apiece. Down the line, or up the line, and Katie Boulter pulls the trigger for a winner.
13 low.
She'll be thinking about every 3-setter that she played last year, every match in 2024 that went the distance, that she was able to come through and just lean on that experience.
Boulter in 2024.
14-15.
It was 8-5. The matches went to 3. 0 from 1 in 25 after losing to Swiatek in Sydney. She's holding fairly quickly now as well. And Rebecca Marino is going to have to serve to stay in the match as Katie Boulter leads 5-4 final set.
Lots to think about for both on this change of ends. Some deep breaths. Almost got the same routine.
Pretty much. Barely blinking. Have some water. Looking at the box. Another crowd favourite. Really revving them up as this match reaches its crescendo.
Probably not what you want to hear.
No.
Down 5-4 in the third.
The best one I've heard was the 2020 US Open men's singles final between Thiem and Zverev. It's dead silent because of COVID. No one's in the stands, and the DJ decides to play under pressure as they head to the 5th set tiebreak.
Why not?
I think they knew that. Marino serving to stay in it at 4-5.
Love.
Dropped by 3 people in the crowd, that one.
That's unacceptable in Australia.
It is actually calling a match in qualifying. My dad took one of the crowd catches. Quite impressed with him.
As you should be. Oh, 3 returns in a row.
14
She knows she needs to be taking it a little lower, playing it so high up and narrow with her stance. Make that 4. And Marino's done a brilliant job there of first serves in play. But there's no way that you can let 4 in a row go like that.
It's one of her quickest holds of the match, and we head to 5-all. Continuously the pressure heaped back on Boulter. The trigger and went wide.
Love 15.
Marino will fancy herself here at love 15.
Spot on with the placement of that return.
Love 30.
Boulter has found the first serve when she's needed it in this set.
huge point, and Alex Diminor knows it. Just to come through one of these longer rallies.
30.
Again, that first serve under enormous pressure.
30 all.
2 in a row.
The line. Heart in mouth.
40-30.
Don't think Marino could quite believe it. Game point from Love 30 down. Flirts with danger, but survives once more. And again asks the question of Marino, can she serve to stay in it? And can she stay in it? Boulter leads 6-5 final set.
What a game to come through. Love 30, that long rally. Just had to hustle 1 or 2 extra shots and it made the difference.
She's fired up. The box is fired up. Alex Diminor is, so is Mum.
She's up off the chair early, I think headed down to the towel box. A little bit of coaching as well here.
Idea just to get that reassurance. I've loved the energy from both of them tonight. Just keeping themselves bouncing, running to the line to serve or receive.
Just practicing that movement on the return as well. You recall 4 missed backhand returns in a row.
With herself. She was in the rally.
15 love.
Marino's been nails. Steady as a rock.
Dictated the point from go to woe and finished it off with the forehand.
15 all.
She's done so well there.
Miraculous.
30-15.
Some of the areas where she's found winners tonight, out of this world. Clip the tape on the way through and stayed lower on Marino.
30 all.
Backhand brings match point for Katie Boulter.
30-40.
She had dropped just 3 points on serve in this game, Marino, on this set. Doesn't drop another one there. Saves it with a big first serve.
So impressive to bring out a serve like that. Down match point. Everything on the line here.
Found the winner. Electric.
Advantage. Boulter.
Match point number 2. Nets it. Courageous Katie.
7-5.
The 22nd seed fights her way past a gallant Rebecca Marino to take a gutsy 3-set victory. Look at how much it means. Had won 3 points on return. That entire set up until the last game. And somehow found a way to bolt past the power that was being thrown at her. It was so mightily impressive, and hats off to Rebecca Marino as well for incredibly hard. As Katie Boulter gives some merch to the adoring fans. Mum looks relieved. Steemanor has had to bolt back out. He's off to do some media commitments. That was an inspired victory from the Englishwoman, who enjoyed a career best year in 2024, and that is the emotion right there. It didn't look like she was going to win it. Marino had so many opportunities on her serve. Only to be trumped at the finish line, and she waves goodbye to the fans, the 34-year-old. But here is the 28-year-old Katie Boulter heading out into the middle with Shane McGuinness. We'll hear from her now.
Well, Katie, what a way to start your Australian Open campaign. That was a marathon.
Yeah, that was way too stressful for me. I would have really preferred a much easier match, but I mean, she came out firing today. I mean, literally, this is because of you guys that I got through this match, so I really appreciate it.
A couple of times you had to come from behind. It wasn't just a physical battle this evening, it seemed to be a mental one as well.
Yeah, that was massively mental for me. You know, I've been playing great tennis on the practice court, and I tried so hard to put that on the match court, and sometimes when you force it, it really doesn't work, and I found out tonight. And you look, I mean, she was playing great, and you know, I know how tough she can be, and I'm just happy I found a way, and sometimes that's what these round one matches are about.
You mentioned the crowd before. Does it feel like a home away from home?
It's funny you say that. I mean, this is the closest I've ever felt to home. So, I mean, it's all because of you guys.
The British tabloids will hate me. Is it too early to go with Aussie Katie, or will we get in too much trouble for going with that too soon?
Hey, they might want to get rid of me. I don't know. No, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, from the moment I landed here in Australia, in Sydney as well, I felt the love, and I can't tell you how much it means to me, and yeah, just thank you so much.